Hey guys, Zane here with another quick one take review, and today I wanted to talk about the new Royal Coda album, To Only a Few at First. To Only a Few at First is the latest studio album from Royal Coda, the melodic post-hardcore band fronted by ex-Dance Gavin Dance frontman Kurt Travis. After some lineup changes and some general creative turns, Royal Coda are back for the first time since 2019's Compassion. To Only a Few at First is going for a very specific sound, and one that has been very prevalent in modern day post-hardcore at that. And that sound is a very nice mixture of heavy, behind-the-scenes polish and emotional rawness, and there are a number of bands that can do this great. Just within the past couple of years, bands like Drug Church and Turnstile have delivered records with this overall style that have been some of the best of their respective years, especially Turnstile's Glow On, which even a year after its release I still highly recommend even if you haven't heard it yet. So overall, it's not like this particular brand of post-hardcore is a bad thing, it's just executed poorly. First, though, I would like to say that Royal Coda are unlike those previously mentioned acts, and that they do have more of a pop sensibility about them that I greatly respect and appreciate in the usage of differentiating this record from the number of other highly clean and polished post-hardcore records out there right now. I can definitely appreciate that aspect of the album, but it just isn't done well whatsoever. Will Swan and Sergio Medina's guitar work often fades into the background, and Joseph Arrington's drumming often just feels out of place in the mix as it feels just too apparent compared to every other instrument on the record. Chris Crummett's production is so overly slick that any passion that was possibly presented by Royal Coda is lost, and that certainly isn't helped by Kurt Travis's vocal work, which is somewhere between flat and wannabe cartoony, which just goes to further demonstrate why he was such a polarizing performer in his time with Dance Gavin Dance, as well as why a lot of people really hated him with Dance Gavin Dance. There are a lot of albums that are more obviously terrible than To Only a Few at First that have come out this year alone, but there are very few albums that I've heard throughout this entire year so far that have been as subtly weak as this one. It sounds like a fairly harmless record at first, and if you're listening to it casually, it's not really that bad of an experience overall, it just kind of barely exists within your mind, but when you actually sit down and analyze it, you kind of begin to realize how poorly put together it is and how much flavor and spice it actually lacks. So overall, To Only a Few at First have potential to be sure, especially with the band's reliance on pop-based structures, which is interesting, seemingly, but unfortunately none of it works out for them due to poor production choices and an overall lack of care put into the record. I'm going to give this album 2 stars out of 5. My one take on this record is that To Only a Few at First has an admirable concept in mind, but a sense of over-processing prevents Royal Coda from delivering anything remotely impressive or even enjoyable for that matter. So again, 2 stars out of 5, and with that being said, that's the end of this quick review, and I'll see you guys in the next one.